All right, guys. So today's topic was presented to be by the next generation. It was from my daughter. And the question is, how do you feel about being a father? No bullshit. I think that's a pretty dang good question. And I'm actually pretty curious as to why my daughter even asked that. Like, how do I feel about being a father? So drop it in the comments. Let us know how you personally feel about being a father, because we know that there's moments that it really just doesn't seem like it's the easiest thing to do. That being said, I'm your host, Dmitry.
And I'm your host, Patrick.
And we hope that you guys enjoyed today's episode.
All right, let's get into it. Yeah, you heard it.
Great.
That's why I was debating whether I was going to shut it or not. It's not even the dog that we have.
Is that your dog?
No, it's a neighbor's dog that's barking.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this dog fucking stinks.
Oh, smells bad?
Yeah.
Yikes. Are you gonna bathe him?
He's kind of creepy too. No.
Is he fucking cockeyed? You know it's creepy? Pugs. Pugs are creepy.
It's my daughter's favorite dog is a pug.
Their fucking eyes.
Deanne likes English bulldogs.
I love English bulldogs. They're cute. Pugs, nah. Pugs are fucked.
You're out on pugs.
They're pugly as hell.
Pugly as hell. All right, so we had a little slip up on our first intro, but you had asked me the question of sometimes I not want to be a father. Yesterday, so Deanne has my younger two kids and both of her kids in Missouri, as I like to say, or Missouri. So it's me and my older two boys this week, and they both ditched me to go do other stuff, which was totally fine. But I was literally by myself all day yesterday, and yeah, it kind of sucked, man. I did I wouldn't say I did like deep soul searching, but it made me think, and I don't want my kids to hear this and not think that I want them to always hang out with me, because I want them to be themselves and all of that stuff. But my younger kids, they jump at the opportunity to hang out with me. And so I need to do a better job of being more present when they're here. And I know we've talked about that a little bit too, but yeah, yesterday was it was just sucky hanging out by yourself. Like,
it's kind of lonely, isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it weird?
100% was.
It's like sometimes you just want everyone to like close their mouths, and other times you realize that, holy shit, man, this silence is kind of deafening. And so I guess from my point of view, the number one is how do I feel about being a father? I love being a father. I have moments of frustration and agitation, as I think all fathers do, and I think mothers as well. I think the reality of this question kind of transcends just being a father. Everybody's included in this. Like, how do you? Moms have it rough too, man.
No, for sure.
Babies teething, they're fucking trying to jump off their fucking nipples. Like, dude, I can imagine that it's difficult, and the exhaustion that comes along with it. Or as a father, you ever have your kids try to fucking breastfeed on you? You ever hold a baby and they're like searching for mom?
No, I think my nipples were too hairy. I think they knew immediately.
Really? Dude, my kids fucking tried.
It's because you shave your chest, fucking weirdo.
I think I have like 38 chest hairs, maybe 42 now. They come in so slow. I had like one back hair the other day. I'm like, great. My chest gave up. My back's like, fuck it.
Yeah, I used to have zero back hair. Now I look like a fucking alpaca.
Fucking love it. Well, all right. So how about this? Since we're both in the line of how do we feel about being fathers, we're both very happy to be fathers. Can you give some context to like some moments where it it's not that you didn't want to be a father, but you really just had a hard time just dealing with everything going on. And to your point, like soul searching. Because I think, and then maybe this is like when you're younger. I think as you get older, you're already akin to yourself, like, this is my life and I fucking love it. But when you're younger, you're like, man, this is difficult.
So I think I've shared this before, but I did not necessarily, especially in my teenagers and like early 20s, having kids was not something that was high on my priority list. But when I found out that my ex-wife was pregnant with Logan, it definitely changed my thought process. And I remember being excited. As far as your question goes, I can't think of a time that I never wanted to not be a father. I think that the struggles sometimes were overwhelming, but ours were mainly financial in the beginning. Like there was just financial struggles because we were young parents. And then, dealing with daycare at a young age and all of that stuff, I think is just like, it's very stressful. But I wasn't like, man, I wish I just didn't have kids now.
Yeah.
It was like, fuck, what are we going to do to figure this out?
When you guys did daycare, we've never done daycare because I've always been against it.
Well, we didn't have much of a choice, but then it got to the point where we were spending almost as much on daycare as my ex-wife was making. So we said, why don't you just stay at home and focus on work, which, created additional financial struggles.
Yeah.
That was when Jackson was born, because when Jackson was born, Logan would have been 6. So right around the age of entering school, Davis would have been in school. And I think all of them would have been out of school for like a year. So it would have been 3 kids worth of daycare. And that was when she stopped working.
Well, yeah, and at that point, it's like it's like you're paying someone else to like raise your kids, because you got to think of how much time that we spent at work. I think for me, that was like the biggest thing. I never wanted my kids to be in daycare because of that. And
Yeah,
it was like,
good.
no, it was just like a personal thing that I just never, like, I wanted like a typical, fatherhood where I work, my wife stays home with the kids have their mom all around, because I didn't have that.
Yeah, I wouldn't have done anything different the way that we did it when Jackson
Because sometimes
was
you
born.
have to.
Right. So when Logan was born, my aunt watched him for probably close to a year before we moved into Denver, because we were out in Deertrail at the time.
Yeah.
And then shit, I don't remember what I was thinking. Oh, when Jackson was born is when my ex was a full-time stay-at-home mom for probably like 6 or 7 years before we separated.
Yeah.
So we found a house that was in the neighborhood, and it was a lady. It was a good little spot that the boys went to.
Yeah.
Well, and I don't want to digress at all, but Logan was very nonverbal at a young age, and so I think having that interaction with other kids helped, um, just helped him develop and start talking and interacting with people.
So I got a story, and it's along the side of daycare, but it's also along the side of like, I guess, to my daughter's questions, like, how do you feel about being a father? So speaking of daycare, so my wife used to watch a couple kids that, they'd get off the school bus, they'd come before their, obviously, parents got home. And there's this young kid, his name is Arlo, and his parents would drop him off in the morning, and they were doctor and a nurse or something, and we always like, to your point, he was very nonverbal, but, like, he always just his diaper was full, like, he just was, like, out of it, um, and it's kind of like a sad story because about a year after, 2 years after she stopped watching him, uh, his parents got arrested for neglect because he died. This
Oh, shit.
this is a young kid, dude.
Dude, that's
He was like
horrible.
he was like maybe 2, maybe 1 or 2 when she started watching him, and, yeah, so I think that some parents don't necessarily understand what it takes to be a parent and to take care of kids. I think that sometimes if which is kinda crazy because they were nurses. It was a nurse and a doctor, and you
Yeah,
guys
fucking idiots.
dude, it
I'm
was
not saying all
horrible.
doctors and nurses are idiots, but they were fucking idiots.
Dude, it fucked both of us up because we we didn't think there's necessarily something going on, you know? You just think that, okay, they're busy, they dropped them off in the morning, like but, like, as time went on, he became, like, happier, and he would laugh, and he would giggle, like, he was a cute kid, man. It was, I don't understand how some people can be that neglectful to their children to let something like that happen,
Yeah,
because
that's
you're right, it's like no matter how hard it is, like, you guys had to go through the daycare, you had 3 kids at a point, you're like, "Alright, well, now this isn't gonna work." But there's times that it's really, really hard, and you always kind of figure it out, and I think that's the some of the highlights of being a father is you don't realize what you're dealing with while you're dealing with it. It kinda sounds like or it seems like it's the end, and you're exhausted, you're pulling your fucking hair out, money stress, all this other bullshit. But I can never imagine letting something horrible happen to my children.
yeah, I that's horrible. And honestly, I was a very career focused father for I mean, I'm still very career focused, but now I can balance my time a little bit better with them.
Yeah,
But when I was younger, I did not balance my time with my kids the way that I wish I would have. And, yesterday, that's just going back to the story from yesterday. And Logan's in college, and he's pretty close to like those times of hanging out are gone. And he went and hung out with some friends.
yeah,
Um, and I was like, man, I wish I would have done things a little fucking different. Wish I would have been
yeah,
there just a little bit more. But it was never the thought process. I just was naive. I think I thought that I had to work the way that I had to work,
yeah.
which
This
part
won't
of me
impact them
did
that
have to
hard.
do that.
Yeah,
Like I could have changed jobs and went and got another job that paid more money that maybe got set me up for success, but like that's added stress too
yeah.
if it doesn't work out or
Man, yeah, that's definitely added stress right there. That's a scary time. A scary thing to do.
Dmitry and I both worked jobs that allowed a lot of overtime. It was not an option for the most part. It's pretty mandated. And by a lot, I mean excess of 40 hours a week sometimes. So
Well, and it was required too, because I feel like if you didn't have that overtime, you're not paying your bills. And I think that was the difficulty.
yeah, and dude, I, I don't know if I told you this, but I was making $10 an hour when I started working at Colorado Barricade.
I started at $13 an hour.
Yeah, that's still pretty low.
Dude, 13.50 for like 2 months while I just the guy I was working HVAC for, his company went under because he was just doing some shady shit. And so I was out of work and it was just my income at the time. So I had to scrape pennies to like make rent that month. And we always made it work, but new jobs are stressful, man.
Well, and it's our job is seasonal. So the flip side of that is come December, January, February, March, when
Yep.
winter is in Colorado, you're lucky if you get 40. So the problem is you start living the lifestyle of 80-hour work weeks.
Yeah.
And
Then
then
winter
when
comes.
when the season slows down, you're like, I don't make enough money. Fuck this place. This place sucks. Like it's all the stuff
Yeah.
you go through in your head. But finally, it got to the point where me and my ex-wife got good at managing our money that way. And then I was salary, and then that made things easier. Except for salary sucks when you work
Yeah.
80 hours a week.
Right. Yeah. That's great in the wintertime, but other than that, it's kind of rough. Well, all right. Can I give you a quick rapid fire? I'll ask you 3 questions.
Okay.
All right. All right. Question 1. Things you didn't expect about being a father. What was harder than you thought? And what was better than you expected in your journey of fatherhood?
All right. What was the first one again?
The first one was things you didn't expect.
I did not expect to love a human being the way that I love my kids.
Fuck yeah, man. Yeah, I felt my heart grow when I saw my daughter. It was
I'm a pretty selfish person, and I've been a pretty selfish person my whole life, but when you have kids, it changes things.
oh yeah, man. I couldn't tell if you were tearing up or if you were fucking rubbing your sty.
It is a little bit of both.
Okay.
My eye's in the left eye.
Oh. Yeah,
All
man.
right. Things that were harder.
Harder than you thought.
This is a funny one. I'm gonna get a lot of shit for this one. Changing shitty diapers. I have a terrible gag reflex, and
Oh, that's funny.
I honestly didn't change a shitty diaper for a long time because I couldn't stop not breathing when I was doing it.
Yeah.
And then I got to the point where I just wouldn't breathe and did it. Dude, we had kids in diapers for like 13 years straight. It was wild.
Yeah.
And then what was the last one? Better than I expected.
Things that were better than you expected.
I think it kind of goes into my first answer, but like the relationships that I've built with the kids and the love that I get from the kids in return.
It's like a pretty like it's like a I think the love that you get from your kids is a love that's you don't get from anybody. Your spouse, nobody can give you that. Their love is truly unconditional, man.
Well, and it's different. It's I'm not saying it's not love, right? Like, I made the comment that about, I don't even remember how I worded it, but like that I would love the kids the way I shit my brains out apparently. It's not like I didn't love other human beings, right? Like
Yeah.
I have a mother and I have a lot of family, and then I had my ex-wife at the time. It was just completely different with
Mm-hmm.
the kids.
You would do anything for them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what I mean. Like it's there there's you would do anything for, you know, a really good friend or, family.
I've done some fucked up shit for some really good friends.
Well,
That's for another show.
And for your for your kids, man, I don't think there's anything that I wouldn't do for my kids. And I mean, this is coming from, I'll put it, my kids are still young, obviously, and I hope my kids never ever struggle with addiction or anything along the lines of that. I'm sure people that have their kids doing some pretty fucked up stuff, like I can't imagine how hard that is. Because you do love your kids at the end of the day, and you would do anything for them. But how do how would they juggle their internal like moral compass to do the right thing? Because doing the right thing isn't always easy.
Uh, yeah, I think being in my situation, I could make that decision a little bit easier now.
Yeah,
But 3 years ago, I'm not sure what the right decision would have been, and at least in my head. I know the right decision now.
yeah,
You can't enable addicts and alcoholics. You just can't do it. And I
without
think
a
it's
doubt.
ultimate form of love by not doing it.
Yeah. Oh, all right. Let me answer these questions then.
Okay.
So things I didn't expect. Um, I I didn't expect to care so much about kind of like little things. Um, but I realized that I only care about little things because they're things that it wasn't happy with myself. Like if I'm always leaving stuff open or unfolded and messy, what's the best way to teach your kids right? Well, unfortunately, it's okay. Fix the things that I was doing wrong, so you guys don't have to worry about them. Um, like cleaning your room, as stupid as that sounds, my room used to be a mess when I was a kid. And my kids, their rooms are always clean. Before we leave the house, that room needs to be clean. You want to go play, your room needs to be clean because I think there's no better feeling than walking into your room and it being clean. Um, maybe that's OCD, maybe that's fucking being anal. It was important to me. Um, Something that's harder than I thought is controlling emotions, temper, agitation when you feel like you're not being heard, because I think there's plenty of times where we feel like we're kind of arguing with, like, we think we're communicating with a human that's on our same level, but in reality, we're not. They're they're young, they can't comprehend or understand the emotions and things that they're going through, and like trying to deal with like, no, you need to eat you can't have ice cream for breakfast all the time. Like once in a while, that's fine, but then it's crazy how everything gets amplified. So I think the hardest thing that I have experienced, and I still experience to this day, is controlling temper and agitation and frustrations. For me, it's taking a breath, stepping back, or like sometimes what I've started doing actually is if I say no, then I'm like gone. Like almost like there's a brick wall in front of me and their face. So hey, can I do this? No. And then they keep talking and I just don't answer. And then after like 30 seconds, they stop. They're like, fuck, this dude's not arguing with me. Guess I'll fucking go do what he asked. You know? I think the things that were better than expected is not remembering as a father, not remembering what it was like to hug my dad after like a long day or like missing him. And um I think that some of like the best feelings is having my kids come up and just randomly like hug you. It's the warmest, the best hug ever. And obviously my daughter's getting bigger. Like when she was little, there's nothing better than like you could literally just pick them up and you just hold them in your arms and you could stay like that for, it doesn't 10, 20 minutes and it just feels good. Now I'm not picking her up. Like she's fucking big, but it's just, yeah, man, I think the hugs and the affection that they show is something I didn't expect because it's something I still don't know how to deal with. I think it's a hard thing for me to to understand and try to embrace that love since I don't I'm still kind of learning how to love on my own. And even though I love them, sometimes me loving them comes out and yelling over stupid things. So it kind of teeters back to the hardest part and the best part. They're almost kind of intertwined for me.
Right. Right. All right. We're pretty close to halfway through. You want to do Fatherhood Unscripted real quick?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. I'll kick us off.
Okay.
So going back to what I was already talking about, it's me and the older two boys for the week. We get to hang out. Deanne and all the rest of the kids are in Missouri until Friday. So Friday night, not Friday night, early in the week, Logan had shot us a group text between me and Davis and said, "Hey, do you guys want to watch Superman on Friday night?" And I said, yes. So the three of us went. The new one, yeah, it just came out. Yeah. Logan is a huge James Gunn fan. So James Gunn did this one. And it shows.
Because it was good.
It was good. They liked it better than I did, I would say. I like realistic superhero movies like the newest Batman and then initially the Dark Knights, but
the darker stuff.
Well, yeah, but it's real. It's not real, but you know what I'm saying? It could be real.
Yeah, that rich guy could have that fucking suit.
Well, and that's just it. It's, money could buy some crazy ass shit. So Batman doesn't really have superpowers. He has super money. So
that's a fucking power in my eyes. I wish I was that fucking had that power. It's the only superpower we could have.
But anyways, the three of us went and watched Superman on Friday night. It was cool to hang out. I had to deal with a little bit of work drama and it was whatever. It was a late night for my old ass, but yeah, it was just cool to hang out with them again.
Go see a movie.
Yep.
Well, it's funny because my Father Unscripted moment is also a movie related. You probably haven't heard of these, or maybe you have from your young daughter. So it's called Zombies. It's a Disney movie. Okay. So I forget when the first one came out. I think my daughter was 2. And my daughter's 9 now. So she's watched all of them and she absolutely loves them. So the other day we were sitting down and we're all right, well, we're going to sit down and watch a movie as a family. And I'm searching and I was looking for that the Thunderclap or whatever, the Thunder movies, the new one, the superheroes, Thunder Force.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? The Russian
one
dude
that we were talking about.
Yeah.
I watched.
Yeah, I was looking for that one because you mentioned it. And I came across Zombies 4 just came out. And my daughter turned into it was she loves Taylor Swift. It's almost what I can imagine her if she saw Taylor Swift in real life. The hands and the oh my god and
hyperventilating.
Oh my dude. My wife was like, before we watch, you got to go take a shower. And she's like, okay. I've never seen her get in and out of the shower so fast. I have never seen her absolutely hustle her little butt off to come down and watch this movie. And and then I almost ruined it for myself and everyone else. Not really. I was just speaking truth. Addison, one of the main characters, I think she's fucking useless. And I'm like, we're watching the movie, and like they have to like move this big ass rock, and everyone's like struggling, and she's sitting there. Oh, it's okay, you got this. I'm like, dude, you're fucking useless. I was like, Addison is useless, and my wife was like, can you just be an adult for once? And I'm like, well, I'm gonna go take a shower now. I was like, apparently, I'm not wanted here. And my daughter's like, she's not useless, and I'm like, dude, she's an alien with fucking no powers. Like literally nothing. It's like Superman coming to Earth and being like, yeah, well, I can't do anything. Fight crime? Nope. No powers. And her only superpower is change her hair. It's not powerful. So my Fatherhood Unscripted was my daughter being super, super excited to watch the new Zombies movie. And needless to say, we all had to watch it. And now we will probably inevitably watch it another 30, 40 times. And she now can't wait for the next one to come out, which I can't imagine that they're even going to make more of these, but apparently they will. Next one's mermaids.
What do they come out like every 2 or 3 years?
I have no idea. I guess so.
She might not be into it when the next one comes out.
Yeah.
Right on. All right. Well, let's get back into it. Those questions you asked earlier were good questions, by the way.
Okay, well, I got another one.
Okay.
We got another rapid fire. I feel like this is a good way. It's a good way to kind of get us through. So, so this is going to be relating to the hardest parts. Okay.
Oh,
so
fantastic.
moments that you questioned yourself is question one. Dealing with anger and stress is going to be kind of question two. How did you deal with all those things in those moments? And then question three is, how did you balance your work and your marriage and your partnership during those difficult times?
All right. First one was what?
First one was moments that you questioned yourself.
I think I questioned myself anytime I spanked my kids, my younger kids.
Yeah.
I think.
Damn. I just did that the other day.
You spanked your kids?
Yeah.
Or you questioned yourself? Or both?
Both.
Well, so I spanked the older two. I've talked about this before. Probably definitely Logan more than Davis. And part of me was, they're my kids. I'll do things like, I wasn't beating my kids, just so we're clear. It was legitimately spankings. My kids don't question me. But then on the other side of it, you go back to the conversation about like the way you love them, right? And so then you're like, is this the way that I should be doing this?
It always hits mid spank, dude. It
always
always
like you're going through the air.
It's always, and it's like you're too far. Like, do you stop? And it's like a moment of weakness. Like, oh, dad's a bitch. When you fucking spank us.
So yeah, I think that one's the one for me. All right, and then the next one was what?
Dealing with anger, stress, and guilt.
I mean, I didn't deal with it very, very good at a younger age. Now, I'm not much of a yeller. Like, I'm not much a yeller at work. I'm also not much of a yeller at home. But typically, I would get into situations where I would yell. And I've probably yelled at work like 5 times. I've yelled at home like 5 times in a month. But I'm just saying it's not like super common.
Yeah.
I also, after I would do that, and Logan and I used to go at it, and I would yell, and I definitely wasn't like getting out all the words because I was so pissed off. So then I would typically have like a 15-minute reset, and then I would go back and try to actually have a conversation about the situation and
Do
explain
you ever
things,
feel yourself being brought back into it?
like going at it again.
Dude, yeah, like can we jump into that real quick?
Sure.
Okay. You just came in, you spanked him, or you just ripped him a new one. And you're like, dude, I gotta fucking walk away. And you walk away and you're steaming, and then you're calm. You're like, cool, I'm composed, I can come back in this. And then you go in there and they're like back at it. And then you just feel yourself like you're up here, you're like, I got this. I'm gonna fucking handle this. And oh, you open that door and their face like this. And then you're like fucking right back before you even say a word. You're like, shit, man, I wasn't ready for this.
I don't think, I mean, it may have happened. I don't think it happened. Usually I would go in and I would apologize first for the way that I reacted, but then I would say, here's why I was so pissed off.
Yeah.
And then I would explain it. So I think going in with that apology would typically neutralize the ground a little bit. And you know, it's always based off of love for the most part, like, or learning, I guess. So yeah, I think for me, just doing like a 15-minute get away from the situation so it doesn't continue to get heated.
It's fair.
And sometimes it's like, go to your fucking room so I can gather my thoughts.
Yep. Yeah.
And then the last question
is how did you balance being work and being a husband, partner, father during those hard, difficult times?
I didn't.
Do you think you steered more
first.
towards work?
Yep, work first.
Gotcha.
And me and my ex-wife had that agreement. I don't think it was good, but especially when I was hourly.
Yeah.
I was hourly, I was young, and I needed the fucking money. So if there was an opportunity to work, I did it. Yeah, I mean, I would say I got two comments, but I would say I don't even know. But I mean, I've worked 100-hour weeks before. I've worked multiple 100-hour weeks before. I've worked 34-hour shifts. It's fucking stupid. It's stupid now. And that's the other thing that I would say, oh my God, this dog. Now I try to give my weekends to the family or to the relationship or both. That used to not be the case back in the day. And if I did have a weekday off, like I remember I worked the whole month of May one year, like every single day. I didn't have a day off. I don't remember. Oh, back then, if I did have a day off, I was very selfish with that day, and I did almost nothing usually. And I think sometimes you need that.
Yeah, it's like a reset.
You need to like completely decompress so you can go back to it. The difference with being in the field for me and being in management is being in the field, it's physically tiring, but it wasn't necessarily mentally because you didn't take that work home.
Yep.
Once you get into a management position, and that's my struggle specifically Monday through Friday, is that like I have a hard time spending time with my kids or with Deanne because I'm still like working. I'm working when I'm not working.
Yeah. Yeah, you're still mentally there.
Yep.
That's fair. Well,
your turn.
All right. Moments I question myself is I guess usually when I spank my kids, and like I think I've spanked my kids like maybe 5 times. And I'm not saying 5 because you said 5 with the amount of times you yell. I think that's just it's like anywhere from like 4 to 7 times, I'll say. And I think it's maybe it was like 4. Um, but anytime that I spank my kids, it's not that I'm like questioning myself like being a good father or not. I think I question what I'm trying to communicate at that moment. And it always just turns into like, dude, this was not the best way to fucking handle it. Um, so I think that's um the time that I really like question myself. And it kind of it ties into the deal with anger, stress, frustration, like all that stuff. Like sometimes it's do something and you're not doing it, and then you're you're handed I think your kids hand you the things that you need to learn and to work with. And for yourself, it's you need to learn how to solve your own problem. And spanking isn't like the way that we solve problems as adults. You know, if
Right.
I'm frustrated with somebody, I can't bend him over my fucking knee and spank him. Like that's
Much as you want to.
as much as you want to. So it's like I'd love to bend my wife over my knee and spank her when she's
That's
yelling at
different.
me or I don't agree with what she's saying.
Oh,
You
okay.
know, but like we can't do that because it's not acceptable. So why is it normal? And I think with my son, I'm definitely harder. So with Ronan, because I'm like trying to like teach him this that hey, there's a point for jokes and there's a time for games. But as
You're
you
trying to teach him that?
what
You're trying to teach him that?
I know, dude, I know. And the hardest the hardest thing is like, listen, we can joke around, it would be funny, we could be silly. At home is one thing. When when we go outside, certain behaviors aren't appropriate, and you have to understand it because going into school, you know, you can't like the other day, like I'm taking a shit and I come out like obviously it's like anytime you as a parent have to use a bathroom, all hell fucking breaks loose. It's like you're gone to like cool Armageddon. And so I'm hearing screaming and hollering, and my daughter's like trying to boss him around, and he is just like, I'm not doing anything. And I come out, I'm like, what are you guys doing? And she's like, he pulled his pants down and scratched himself. Like, what do you I was like, Rona, what do you mean you pulled your pants out? Well, I like he didn't pull his underwear down, but like he pulled his shorts down to scratch his leg. I'm like, did you have to pull your pants down? Like, couldn't you have just lifted up your pant leg and scratched your leg? He's like, no. I'm like, yes, you could have. Like going to school and like, can you imagine just pulling down his pants in the middle of class? Like, why? Oh, I had an itch. They can't,
I'm
you
I'm pretty
can't
sure
do
my
that.
oldest did that. It wasn't an itch though.
Yeah, boner.
No, I don't remember what he did.
I mean, that's the
It was something with taking his pants off though. But anyways.
not when he was older.
No, no, no. He
Oh,
was
okay, okay.
first kindergarten, first, second.
Gotcha, gotcha. Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, like trying to teach him, it's very difficult to deal with stress and frustration when you're trying to teach them things that they can't do in public settings because they're going to get scolded or ridiculed or whatever the case is. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, we're trying to protect our kids and make sure that they are well set off and well versed in the fucked up world that we live in and the stupid societal expectations that are kind of put on top of them on the daily, whether we agree with them or not. There's just certain things that you have to kind of conform to.
Yeah.
Um,
Deanne and I have talked about that pretty extensively, I think, with August, right? With him, with his autism. So, um, yeah, you have to set your kids up for success. And sometimes that starts at home. I mean, it always starts at home, but like going back to your point, Ronan can pull his pants down at home and it's not, it's not
Scratch
going
his
to
leg,
cause
like
you guys a
whatever,
lawsuit.
dude. Yeah.
But he does that somewhere else and somebody's offended and now you're getting sued because your fucking son showed him his wiener.
Everyone's offended now too. That's
everybody.
Like, that's the thing. So quick story time. I came over to the United States. I didn't speak English, obviously, and I went into school, and I was I was kind of violent. Like, I just beat up all the kids, and it happened to be this like one particular black kid, and it was only because he was always like making fun of me and pointing at me. Well, my mom had a lawsuit against her. Their parents dropped it, but I think for like 2 years in a row, like I would grab him by his arm and like you ever see like they swing around in circles and they fucking throw him. I used to do that shit to this kid. Now, I learned real quick when I came over to the United States that in schools you can't you can't beat kids up because of the way they're looking at you or like laughing. Um, I mean, I beat the shit out of a fifth grader behind a fucking tree because he kept fucking pushing me. I didn't speak English. That was my excuse. Well, I tried to tell my son, I was like, listen, there's many times where people aren't going to like you and they are going to push you. And like, you have two options. I was like, I'm never going to be upset at you if you're defending yourself, but don't you ever be the person that's pushing other kids. Or calling them names because there's no need for it. Even when you're joking, because unless they're your friend, you can't joke with them like that.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, like, it's hurting people's feelings, and nowadays lawsuits and stuff are a real concern over like little things.
Yeah, I mean, August is a extremely strong 8-year-old. Like, he can fucking hurt some people.
Yeah.
So it's important that, which I will tell you this, when Deanna and I first started dating, he was very, very physical. He is substantially less physical. He still talks about getting physical with people, but
Yeah.
it's pretty rare.
Someone chop this kid's head off. No, we can't say that.
Right,
We can't say that.
Right. Yeah, he's doing so much better. So
It's awesome.
anyways, go ahead. I think you had one question left, or do you have two?
I think it was balance work and partner. I think now that my wife's working, it's really hard to balance that work and like partnership because, when she's stressed and if she's shutting down or I'm shutting down because she's stressed, it turns into, I think it's a really difficult thing to juggle and then try to be there for your kids at the same time. So how do I deal with it? I think I just kind of like dive into myself and then have internal conversations until I've had enough of those conversations. And then I have to speak up. And it usually, ruffles feathers and it upsets. But I think you kind of have to do that. And in a relationship, you have to have those communications, especially when you have kids. I think even more so when you have kids, when things aren't going the right way or when you guys feel off and disconnected from each other because of work, life stress, and all that stuff. So I think that's how do I deal with it? I build it up until I finally have the conversation, and I attempt to lead into it in the right way, but I have a hard time presenting things in the clearest, most concise, fucking offensive ways.
You don't say.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think I answered the question in past tense. I think I answered it a little bit in current time, but with Deanne and I, we do have a pretty unique situation because we get 2 weekends a month where it's just her, I, and Raina. So we have an opportunity to kind of break that up a little bit. And truthfully speaking, we've been going out for dinner about twice a month, usually on Saturdays. So it's been nice because kind of breaks it up a little bit.
Yeah. Just you and her.
Just her and I. Yep.
See, that's nice. I think me and my wife we went on a date the other day, and that was our first one in like 4 years. It's been a long time, dude. Like we don't ever take time to ourselves. And even when we did, it was like an hour and a half. An hour and a half went by, and we get in the car and we're going. We're like, all right, guess we go home now. We're like, yeah, I mean, like I'm good. Like we spoke, I'm refreshed. But it was definitely nice to hit that refresh with your spouse. If this hits home to anybody, do us a favor, give us a like, subscribe, leave us a review, and share this with any fathers that you might have that you think this is going to hit home with, or just a good conversation piece to put out there.
All right. Is it go time?
It's go time. Let's summarize real quick. Okay. So the question today was, how do you feel about being a father? I love it. I think it's difficult. I think there's times that we only wish that we could be better fathers. And I can say, you and me, Patrick, you're older than me, and not having fathers to guide us in the right way, it's always a difficult road. That being said, man, I love being a dad.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I love being a dad too. Oh my God, is that Yoda?
Speaking of dad,
he just wake up?
No, he was awake. He was upstairs with my wife.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't plan to be a dad, and I would never. I would never. I don't know what the fuck I was gonna say. I love being a dad. How about that? You are talking without talking.
Oh, I was talking. I just asked him not to turn on something loud.
But yeah, I agree with you. I wouldn't trade it for the world. It's probably my greatest accomplishment is raising my kids.
Yeah, man. Share this with other dads. Show honesty and solidarity between fatherhood. Are we ready? I'm ready for your question, man.
So I'm going to do what you just did. We're going to do 3. They're would you rathers, so they're pretty simple. Would you rather have a permanent clown nose or permanent clown shoes?
Oh, shit. I guess clown nose. I mean, I love you. You got the keys and everything? Here. I would say, can I have a kiss? That was kind. Love you. Clown nose. Fuck it, dude. At least that way I could I mean, I don't know, man. I would just have to squeeze it.
I would go with the clown shoes for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, next
Ronan,
one.
what would you rather have? Clown nose or clown shoes for the rest of your life? Clown shoes.
Clown shoes. Would you rather only be able to whisper the rest of your life or only be able to shout the rest of your life?
Oh shit. That's a tough one.
It is a tough one.
I think I would say shout. It'd be way funnier.
It would be funnier.
Like, can you imagine trying to whisper something and you're just fucking screaming it?
Or how many times people would be like, I can't hear you. Can you speak up? And you're just like, oh.
Sure, I can.
But the flip side is if you shout at everybody, everybody's gonna always think you're angry and yelling.
Yeah, or fucking disabled. They think you're a fucking defective human being.
We have this dude at work. His name's I won't say his name, but I'll say his name. His name's Zach. He
The Zach attack.
Very, very loud talker. It's not the same Zach that you're dealing with, but yeah, he's a very loud talker. And so anytime I see him, I always yell at him. I'm like, "What's up, Zach?" All right. I would pick the whisper, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
What if there's a fire? It's a guy with a gun.
I think I'd have to understand the decibel levels that I'm shouting at. Like,
oh, it's loud.
Okay, then I'm whispering. All right, last one. Would you rather be covered in fur or covered in scales? And this one's a super easy one for me, but maybe not for other people.
Scales. I don't know. Scales? Like what kind of scales? Like fish scales or like snake or like dragon scales?
I'm sure it could be a dragon.
You can't shave your fur.
Yeah, that's fine. I'd still rather be furry. Scales are gross, dude. They creep me out.
He's not okay. Show him your. He's got to show you his fish. We went to the camera store yesterday, and
it's a clownfish.
It's a clownfish. Then it's actually perfect because we're talking about clowns.
We were talking about clowns and scales.
And then it's still a clownfish with a clown nose.
That's funny. That's awesome.
Yeah, I think I would do scales, man. No one's gonna love you either way. You're not getting any looking.
Dude, dogs get a lot of love with fur, so I'm going fur.
Yeah, but it's everywhere, dude.
Oh, I know. I mean, I'd already told you I look like an alpaca.
Red Rocket, it's hair.
What?
Yeah, everywhere.
Oh, yeah. Well, whatever.
Some people dig some people dig dragons.
Some people do dig dragons.
So,
all right.
I like that.
Let's close out.
All right. Well, so today we talked about how do you feel about being a father? And we've covered a pretty decent amount of good key points. We talked about the surprises of fatherhood and had a couple of questions about it, as well as the hardest parts about being fathers. We all came to the conclusion that we want to be fathers, even when it's very disruptive and pretty difficult to do so. Trying to control your emotions and your frustrations is some of the difficult things. Dude, this is going to be time 8 you get spanked. I'm just kidding.
He He bounced. Oh no,
he bounced. He's like, all right.
All right, tough guy.
Exactly. You won't. No balls. So I guess I'd like to just say, follow us along with our journey, and this blobfish or this clownfish. I think it's your turn, Patrick. I think you should take care of this one.
All right. Like, follow, subscribe, all major platforms, including Spotify, YouTube, Apple, and Compass on.
Compass on, man.
Nice.
Ah, shit. I didn't mean to do the fucking pitch thing again.
Who's the yellow? Who's the yellow?
It's Sonic. It's Golden Sonic.
Golden Sonic. That's right.
Compass on, everybody.
That's right.